might see the return of Chris Jericho. That's neither here nor there. That's just something I want to happen. If Chris Jericho opts to re-sign with WWE, if not, he'll opt to re-sign with All Elite Wrestling. It's a win-win for wrestling fans if that were to happen. But Punk versus Rollins isn't culminating until early 2026. From what it seems like, we're going to get a great Rollins versus Rhodes feud here in the next couple of weeks, which in my opinion, and I'll transition into this the best way I know how, I believe this will transition this one-on-one championship match between the world champion Seth Rollins and the WWE champion Cody Rhodes in what could quite possibly be the most star-studded all-star War Games match in Survivor Series history. I'm going to, again, assume, they say what they say about assumption, right? You make an ass out of you and me. I would assume that Seth Rollins and The Vision are going to be the ones headlining the heel side in War Games, which gives you Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed right out of the get-go. Those three are going to be in War Games for Team Vision at Survivor Series. Given that this Seth Rollins-Cody Rhodes match, I think, will culminate at Survivor Series, you got to throw Cody Rhodes into that War Games match. So you have Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed against Cody Rhodes, and then I already mentioned it before, I think Punk's going to be in the Chamber match. You throw CM Punk in there. I think because it's his final Survivor Series ever and he's never competed in War Games, John Cena is probably a lock for this War Games match, which gives you a golden ticket opportunity if you are Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting to squash this horrific WrestlePalooza squash match between Lesnar and Cena by having Paul Heyman call on Brock Lesnar and have him compete in the War Games match at Survivor Series with The Vision. So that gives you Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Brock Lesnar against Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, John Cena, and in my opinion, another guy that's going to be back in time for Survivor Series and another guy that has a big problem with The Vision, not only Rollins, but Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, specifically in this instance, Roman Reigns. So now you have Cody Rhodes, John Cena, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns on one side, and you have Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Brock Lesnar on one side. That is fucking scary in its own right. And then who else has a rivalry with Cody Rhodes right now? That's Drew McIntyre. I mean, just think of that War Games match inside of that double steel cage. Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. That is an unbeatable team. Unless you put together the Avengers of WWE, which are John Cena in his first and last ever War Games match with the WWE champion Cody Rhodes, with the best in the world CM Punk, with the tribal chief Roman Reigns. You could throw whoever you really want in that fifth spot. You could throw main event Jey Uso in that fifth spot. You could throw LA Knight in that fifth spot. I would prefer it if they threw the Viper Randy Orton in that spot. You go Cena, Punk, Orton, Rhodes, Reigns, five guys that might not get along, but they got to get along to take down the Vision. And on the other side, you have Rollins and McIntyre who might not get along. You have Rollins and Lesnar that might not get along. Brock Lesnar might not get along with anybody in this match except for Paul Heyman, who's going to be sitting on the outside. I mean, we might see Brock Lesnar suplex and F5 all other 9 competitors in this War Games match before he eventually leaves the cage. That's going to be a moment in its own right if we saw that in San Diego at Petco Park. So I think this has all the combustible elements to tell an unbelievably great story heading into War Games, with John Cena having to make amends with CM Punk, who he screwed over on his heel run. He's going to have to make amends with Randy Orton, who he screwed over. He's already made amends with Cody Rhodes. He's going to have to get along with an LA Knight or a Jey Uso. He's going to have to get along with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't get along with anybody outside of his family. I mean, we know the history between him and John Cena, the history between him and Randy Orton, the history between him and Cody Rhodes, the history between him and Jey Uso, LA Knight. The list goes on and on and on. But those 5 of John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton to take on Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's where you would allow John Cena to kind of get his revenge on Brock Lesnar. Maybe not pinning him, but maybe, putting him through the cage or something. Maybe a massive AA. Everybody takes out Lesnar. Punk hits a GTS into an RKO, into an AA, into a spear. Like, they could do something like that where John Cena picks up the pinfall victory on Brock Lesnar. because we're going to not get Brock Lesnar versus John Cena again at Crown Jewel.